Hello, this is Beth Coughlin. Thank you for joining me with today's Spirit Share, where I share inspired spirit awareness through signs, synchronicities, dreams, inspirational writings, photography, and nature, just to name a few. It's my hope that these spirit shares help awaken your wisdom within, validating the limitless spirit that we all are. Hello, and thank you for joining me for today's Spirit Share. Today's Spirit Share is about the hawk and hawk medicine. And before I get into what hawk means to me, I wanted to be sure to share what the hawk means to you. And what I mean by that is whatever the hawk means to you is what's most important. I can't stress this enough. What I'm sharing with you today is how the hawk has showed up for me. And the reason we share our experiences with these various animal medicines is that it gives us an opportunity to learn something, some nugget from each other, that brings a new awareness about the animal as well as, get ready for it, ourselves. Because the first step in all of this is to know thyself. So when someone shares with us what an animal means to them, we can have that aha moment of, oh yeah, right, I hadn't seen that. And so when we share that, that's the gift. So, but know that what it means to you is so vitally important, and never to let that go. To hold on to it, because the hawk came to you with your own unique message as well. There are many different kinds of hawks, and in this video you will see the red-tailed hawk, you'll see the harrier hawk, and I believe you'll also see the Cooper's hawk. And the reason I'm not totally sure is that the Cooper's hawk and the sharp-shinned hawk can be really hard to tell apart. And you can even Google it. It's kind of like a fun thing to do. But, between juvenile and, male, female, and all of that, it can be quite tricky. But I believe that what I saw was a Cooper's hawk because of the tail. The tail of a Cooper's hawk is more rounded, where the sharp-shinned is more squared off. So, anyhow. But for today, we are talking about the medicine of the hawk as a whole group and what that unique expression is all about. So let's get going. So for me, the hawk is the great perceiver. The wisdom he teaches is that when we pause for our cause, we allow ourselves the space to be not only who we truly are, and allow the moment to be as it truly is, but this practice also allows for spirit to flow through us. And in this divine timing of presence, we perceive from our true selves, and our next step comes from within. It actually comes from within ourselves. So what happens when we don't pause is we tend to allow our past experiences, our programming to drive the bus, and we react from a place of yesterday and not in the present moment. If we take it a step further, we can see that this power of pausing gives us space for spirit and being neutral. And so when we perceive from this place, we can allow truth to be seen in some way, because we are in this neutral awareness. We are allowing space for our spirited self. We are allowing space for spirit. We are just allowing space to be as it is. We're not trying to change it, fix it, none of that. We are allowing things to be as they are because we paused. So the great perceiver is telling us to pause. Pause for your cause. It is such a gift to know this. This brings me to the second quote. So when we pause, and we give this space, it comes to this quote: "Perception is the deception of the mind. It is the heart that is smart. Have the courage to lead with your heart." This is another quote from Hawk that I received. And the hawk here is, when the hawk perceives inwardly from that place of neutrality and space, this is what seems, okay, no big deal, I can do that. But actually, that takes a lot of courage, because it's really easy for us to come from that place of programming. It's easy to come from our old stories. It's like putting on old shoes, it's just easy, it's comfortable. And when we do that, we usually quickly react instead of pausing for our true essence to step forward. So when we come from our inward place, that aligned space, our integrity of who we truly are, that then takes me to our next quote. So we first have that we've paused for our cause, and then Hawk gives this message of, hey, the perception, when we perceive from our mind and not our heart space, not our true selves, we come from a limited place. We come from old programming, okay? So that's the two there. And then the third message is, when this all comes to be and we've paused for our cause and we've come from that place of stillness, we surrender into the limitless possibilities of our own unique expression. And what Hawk's saying here is, because we've aligned with ourselves, our true selves, when we surrender to that place, which is our pause for our cause, and we perceive from our inward place, we are letting things be as they are and not trying to change it or fix it. We're letting it be exactly how it is. And we are surrendering to that place. And when we do that, the gift of giving space to that is our own unique expression can now step forward and create from that place of neutrality, stillness, presence, pause. And that, to me, embodies the hawk. So for me, I'll just take their three quotes and break them down one last time, just to sort of bring it all together. The first quote is, "We pause for our cause." And that one is, I love that one because it's easy to remember when I'm coming from that place where I want to quickly come from a quick response. And I say, no, Beth, give yourself that pause. And when I do give myself that pause, which is really giving myself a breath, I allow my perception to fall into who she truly is and become neutral with the moment, because I'm not resisting anything. When I do that, I surrender. I come to that quote of, "Perception is the deception of the mind. It is the heart that is smart. Have the courage to lead with the heart." So have the courage to not come from old programming. And the third quote, "Surrender into the limitless possibilities of your own unique expression," is again talking about how when we do that, and we pause and we give ourselves a breath and we perceive from that neutral place, this is very courageous, and we can surrender into this place, into all these limitless possibilities of who we truly are. So when the hawk shows up, know that he is here to teach you how to know yourself in a higher way. And these are the true gifts of the hawk. So when we are ready to step into knowing ourselves, knowing who we truly are, the hawk starts to show up and pay attention to you, because that's what the hawk does. So the moment you start to become aware and you really start paying attention to your awareness, that you've awakened that part of you, hawk recognizes that and starts to follow you and show you and guide you to that power. The last thing I wanted to touch on with the hawk is that for me and for a lot of people, the hawk can really represent the power animal or the animal guide that, besides having this medicine of reminding ourselves to pause and perceive from a higher way, the hawk also can be our guide. And what I wanted to share about that is that if Hawk is your guide, and I'm not saying he is or he isn't, it's for your journey, but when any of these animals show up as our guides, pay attention to other symbols besides just seeing the bird. For example, you may see Hawk on a license plate or a side of a truck or on a bumper sticker or somebody's tattoo or song. You might see like lyrics or the songwriter. This is how it all works. And of course, feathers. I had a really couple of cool experiences with feathers. I remember years ago when I was trying to understand, like is Hawk my guide? It's kind of putting that question out there. It's always important when that shows up. What were we questioning? What were we contemplating? And I was on a walk with my dog, and I saw a hawk feather fall down from a tree right in front of me. And I just couldn't believe it. So I began collecting, of course, these hawk feathers that I see. And another time around my Nana's birthday a couple years ago, I found a hawk feather again. I was walking my dog, and it was near my house, and it literally was under a stick, which is crazy. I mean, it was almost like somebody wanted it not to blow away. So I actually got quite emotional when I found it, because it was just so incredible. And being near my Nana's birthday, who was, very dear to me when I was growing up, I just thought it was awesome. So remember that animals can be our guides as well. For some of us feel that way. Some of us don't. This is just how I see it. It doesn't mean it is what it is. It's how it shows up for you and what feels comfortable and right to you. So I hope all of these messages from the hawk help you in some way. You're able to take some nugget out of it. And when you see a hawk, know that there's a part of you that wants to know himself or herself in a higher way and perceive from that integrity place, that true self, that soul place. And the hawk will teach you how to do that by pausing and allowing space for spirit to flow through you from that place of neutrality and letting things be, because we've given space with the pause. I thought it would be a great idea to end today's talk on the hawk and read an inspirational poem that I wrote about the hawk that encompasses a lot of the things that I talked about today with the hawk. Here we go. The Applause of the Hawk, Elizabeth Coughlin. The applause of the hawk soars so high, dancing and circling in the sky, showering her love to all she sees, asking and waiting for you to believe that there's more beyond what you see. There is more to know than this reality. So take a look and feel from the heart, and soon you'll know what is really smart. For knowledge of the intellect keeps us safe. It's the knowing of the heart that opens up the space to see truth from lies, the space to grow as you and I. So, dear one, when you see me soar, know this is a knock of a new door, a doorway into a new realm of truth, a space to explore the forgotten youth. For she waits to be loved and seen. Thank you for listening, even in the dream. Namaste, your true knowing. Have a blessed day. For more information about my work and what I have to offer, please visit my website, elizabethcoughlin.com, where you can subscribe to my Facebook and YouTube channels and stay in touch for more spirit shares. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.